introduce you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Let me tell you something. They said they wanted us. Well, they're going to get us. Let's get out, you guys. Let's go. When we step on this field, it's no retreat, no surrender. We're in our house. And right now, no one's going to take it away from us. They paperweight champ. Big paperweight champ. Let's set a standard today.
We're world champs, baby. Let's act like it. That's what they say. They said, bring it on. Well, we here.
And the bus is back in service after 5 games in the garage. Can Jerome Bettis power through a Baltimore roadblock today? The imposing Ravens defense, led by All-Pro Ray Lewis, the fiery pulse of the NFL's #2 defense this season. Number 1 belongs to Pittsburgh, a stingy, sack-happy squad that calls up memories of Pittsburgh's Super Bowl years. It's the AFC's #1 seed against the reigning Super Bowl champions.
He scored for the football. Throws him down. He scores. Throwing in the end zone. Man's all alone. Breaks the tackle. Goodbye. Throwing for a touchdown. He's going to go. He's throwing right corner. End zone. This is absolutely incredible.
Playoff pressure and pleasure shifts to Pittsburgh's Heinz Field, where the Baltimore Ravens, champions of the NFL a year ago, meet the Pittsburgh Steelers' best record in the AFC Central rivals. And welcome to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's all about the ring. The Ravens came to town sporting coaches and players their Super Bowl ring, saying, until someone beats us, we are still the champions. That's the goal of the Steelers, who have to go back generation to the 70s for their last Super Bowl title. They thought they were fully ready, the full arsenal, but the bus is not ready.
Boy, you're right, Dick. A real turn of events here in Pittsburgh. Jerome Bettis came out for pregame warm-ups. You know, he's missed the last 5 games with that groin injury. He had to head back into the training room where he received a pain-killing shot in that leg. It went wrong. It struck a nerve. He definitely will not start. A question mark as to whether he will even play today, Dick. So now the burden falls back on the shoulders of the guys who have been doing it for the last 5 weeks. Chris Fuamatu-Ma'afala and Amos Zaraway.
And they're going against that Raven defense led by All-Pro Ray Lewis. And get this, they have not allowed that defense a touchdown in the playoffs since 5 games ago. 54 possessions without the opposition scoring a touchdown.
You think that inspires a little confidence, and that's exactly what the Ravens have. They won on the road last year to go and win the Super Bowl. They won in Pittsburgh here during the regular season. They won on the road last week. The Ravens still believe they're the best team in football.
Well, the Steelers and their fans with a bye last week, so 2 weeks of emotion pent up. They're ready to roar in Pittsburgh for their beloved Steelers. Kickoff coming up. The New England Patriots await the winner. The Ravens and Steelers ready to go on an ideal mid-January football day. Temperature above freezing. Well, 31 now as it dips down. 21 degrees the wind chill. The wind only 9 miles an hour. Let's go down on the field and Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Dick, a blow for the Steelers. We know Jerome Bettis will not start. Bill, does Jerome have a chance to play at all today?
No, Jerome's out. It's unfortunate, but like I told the team, last time we played these guys, we didn't have Jerome either. We got Fu, who's healthy. We got Amos, who's coming back healthy. We'll go with those two, and like I said, we didn't have him the last time. We don't have him today. We'll win this one for him.
All right, Coach, thank you. Dick?
Well, so with all the buildup and the return of Bettis, they carefully trained for 3 weeks. He got better and better, told us during the week that he was 100%. He said he's passed all the tests, and then an errant needle keeps him out of the game.
Yeah, and don't anybody think that there's some sort of a conspiracy here. We watched the Steelers practice the other day. We saw Jerome Bettis going at full speed, and they had every intention of him being here, of him being effective today. So this wasn't any sort of undercover plot by the Steelers.
Jermaine Lewis. Bill Cowher mentioned he's the player he worries most about today. His great kick returns, and he takes it at the 2-yard line. The mighty might of the Ravens at the 21. Breaks out of a tackle and slips down at the 26. Elvis Gerbach in his first year with the Ravens, replacing Trent Dilfer, the man from Michigan, the only quarterback in the playoffs with more interceptions than touchdowns. He has been Dilferized, as I've said it, because of the running game. The last two contests for the Ravens being so effective, they've not needed him to make the big play. But he's told us he has to come up with sevens in the red zone. Threes aren't going to be good enough. Terry Allen is his running back, and it's Allen on first down. He picks up a couple. Casey Hampton, the rookie tackle, and Kimo von Oelhoffen with a stop. Here's the starting lineup for the defending champions. Ogden, the Pro Bowler, with Mulatalo, Flynn, Anderson, the rookie, and Vickers up front. Terry Allen, the 33-year-old veteran, finding new life here in the playoffs. Gash is the blocker. Ismail has had big games against the Steelers. Taylor coming alive in the playoffs, and the tight end, All-Pro Shannon Sharp. Brian Billick in his third season. The give is to Jason Brookins, and Brookins, the first-year runner from Lane College, is stuffed by Kendrell Bell, the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. The 3-4 base for Pittsburgh features Smith, Hampton, the rookie, and von Oelhoffen up front. Great linebacking core. Gilden, Holmes, Bell, and Porter. Porter wearing 55, the number of sacks this year for Pittsburgh to lead the league. Scott Alexander, Flowers, and Washington, the back four. Third down and 6. Mo Williams and Ian Badejo, and oh, what a block on the blitz, and then Gerbach throws it up, going to be intercepted. Chad Scott, 50-yard line, looks for a block at the 45, and Pittsburgh has the turnover at the Ravens 42.
Brian Billick has to be thinking, Elvis, what were you doing? That looked more like a punt than a pass. Here's a great block right there, but Elvis has plenty of time. He gets hit right in the hip at the last moment as he's releasing the ball. But you know the pressure is there. You know it's coming. Travis Taylor, he has no opportunity to come back for that ball that was underthrown by a good 10 yards.
Scott, with his 5 interceptions, led the Steelers in the regular season. What an athletic play by Porter to be somersaulted on the block. Still got up and put the pressure on Gerbach. Cordell Stewart tosses to Zaraway at the 35, and he's hammered by Corey Harris at the 32-yard line. A gain of 12. First down for Pittsburgh. Oh my, what a start to this game. Here's the starting lineup for Cordell Stewart and the Steelers, as Stewart shows these numbers, and they're very good. In fact, 60% is the best ever completion percentage by a Pittsburgh Steeler quarterback, and he's even better against Baltimore this year with 3 touchdowns and no interceptions in the 2 games played earlier in the season. Each team winning on the road. Stewart draw 30. Outside, cuts back 25, 20-yard line, and another Pittsburgh first down. Ray Lewis tripped him up.
Well, we know with the absence of the bus, some of that burden of running the football is going to have to be picked up by Cordell Stewart. A design play all the way. He follows Chris Fuamatu-Ma'afala right up into the hole. They've been working on this for a couple of weeks, and we'll see it multiple times today. When you're in the secondary, you see the last running back pass the quarterback. You immediately think it's no longer a running play, and then here comes Cordell Stewart right up into the hole.
Look at those numbers running on the year. 537 yards, a rushing record for the Steelers as a quarterback. The throw wide open underneath. It is complete to Bobby Shaw, who had a 90-yard touchdown catch against Baltimore at the Ravens home field, and it's another first down as the Steelers rattling up big yards on every play.
And did you see Hines Ward come back and make a block that allowed Bobby Shaw to pick up about another 5 yards? A strike from Stewart right to Shaw, but watch from the left. Here comes Hines Ward. Right there. He picks off Corey Harris, and that allows Shaw to get another couple yards. The best blocking wide receiver in football is Hines Ward, and there's a good example right there. This is a team when you talk about the Steelers.
First and goal from the 6. And he's to the 4-yard line with a crowd chanting "foo" as he takes the handoff, and Ray Lewis said only a few as he gains 2. The Ravens have not allowed a first quarter touchdown in the last 11 games, and again they have not allowed a playoff touchdown in 54 possessions.
Well, remember, this is just about the way it got started in the game against Miami. They fumble the opening kickoff. Miami has to settle for only a field goal. So again, this is a Ravens defense that's used to adversity. They're used to their offense putting them in awkward spots.
And the Steelers have not been an effective team in the red zone this year. Hand off inside, and it goes for just a couple of yards to John Whitman, who had carried the ball only 5 times all season. So Bill Cowher trying to catch the Ravens off by giving to the fullback. There's the starting lineup with Gandy, Faneca to the Pro Bowl, Hardings, Tilsky, and Smith. With Bettis unable to start, it's Chris Fuamatu-Ma'afala, Whitman the blocker, Burris the 6'6" wide receiver, Hines Ward, many felt he should have gone to the Pro Bowl, and Jeremy Tooman the tight end. 3rd and goal. And off to Fuamatu-Ma'afala, and it's not there. Jamie Sharper, the outside linebacker, with Ray Lewis at his side to dump him for no gain, and out comes the field goal unit. And of course, that's part of the story as well.
It most certainly is. Once again, this Raven defensive unit has risen to the challenge of having to defend a very short field. Look at this. Look, it appears there's a crease, but then look at that. At the last minute, there's Sharper, there's Lewis, there's Anthony Mitchell, a trio of Ravens stuff it.
And Chris Brown, who missed 4 field goals against the Ravens in the regular season, lines that one through, and the Steelers settle for 3. Interception by Scott, 3 for Pittsburgh. Modern technology, helmet heaters. Oh, goodness.
I wonder what Jack Lambert is thinking right now when he looks at that. Helmet heaters. Whoa. What's next?
A moral victory for the Ravens defense, holding the Steelers to the field goal when they had 1st and goal at the 6, and Jermaine Lewis fields it at the 10-yard line. Looks for a crease and is surrounded by black and gold at the 26-yard line, and Mike Logan led the charge. Oh, timeout here at Heinz Field. Early going, 8:58 left in the opening quarter. And welcome back. The Ravens with the ball at the 26-yard line. Their second possession. You saw that overview of this beautiful new facility. The southern end to the river end of the stadium, of course, is basically open, and that's been the end of the field that has caused the field goal kickers considerable trouble. Both college and professional kickers, only 52% of field goals tried on this field, new field this year, have been successful. Brown making the first field goal, 21 yards into the closed end. Jason Brookins, the tailback, and he takes the handoff and tries the left side behind the All-Pro Jonathan Ogden, number 75, and picks up about 3.
You're talking about power football when you're talking about Jason Brookins carrying the ball. Brookins at about 240, but then coming in behind Ogden and Edwin Mulatalo, both of whom go about 340, although I think Mulatalo, if you can say a guy's fudging at 340, I'd say Edwin is. I think he's closer to 360.
On 2nd down, Gerbach throws over the middle, complete, and hit immediately as make that Terry Allen out of the backfield. Allen short of the 1st down as tackled by Kendrell Bell. Let's go down to B squared.
Well, Dick, one of the biggest Ravens fans is not on hand today. Team owner Art Modell could not make the trip. Ordinary, he flies in on a private jet the morning of the game, but there were technical problems with his plane, and because of the snowstorm up and down the East Coast, and Baltimore got 7 inches, they couldn't get another jet in, so he's just going to have to settle for watching this one on the big screen at home, Dick.
All right, Bonnie, 3rd and a long one. There's the blitz, and it's successful as Mike Jones, a backup linebacker, the veteran from Missouri, and that's the Blitzburgh game.
There it is. You talk about the Pittsburgh game. Both the left guard and left tackle turn to the outside. That's a case where the Steelers just send one more rusher than there is blocker. And when it's up the pipe, the quarterback has very little chance to do much about it. Of course, everybody remembers Mike Jones from the tackle 2 years ago for the Rams when he stopped Kevin Dyson at the 1-yard line in the Rams Super Bowl victory.
Kyle Richardson does get the kick away, and Troy Edwards waits for Pittsburgh at the 35. Slips, drops the ball. Without being hit, he just fumbled it out of his own hands, and he's lucky to recover, as Brad Jackson for Baltimore was right there as well. And a frightening moment that quieted this noisy Steeler crowd.
There's a flag, Dick, right down here sitting at about the 37.
Illegal use of the hands in the back penalty. No, now it's signaled against the Ravens. Tony Corrente, an educator, is our referee today. Bill Ickencower, and Bill Cowher now the Dean of NFL Coaches, 10 seasons.
During the kick, illegal use of the hands to the face, offense, number 24. This penalty's been accepted, 10 yards, will repeat, 4th down.
Well, that's a smart move by Bill Cowher, forcing the Ravens to punt again. They got nothing on the return because of Edwards letting the ball go and just having to fall on it. So back him up 10 yards, make him sprint one more time down the field. We'll see if this works out, but I think that's an awfully good call by Bill Cowher.
Let's take a look at the penalty on the kick. Alvin Porter, number 24.
He's got that left arm right up in the throat.
So the penalty marks it back to the 15-yard line. So Richardson will deliver from about the 5. Edwards had an 81-yard return against Baltimore back in November. Here they come. And he gets it away successfully. A bad kick. And takes a Baltimore roll and finally out of bounds at the Pittsburgh 48-yard line. 36 yards on the punt.
But still a gamble that pays off for the Steelers. They get much better field position.
This defense buckles it on, and here we go again as Pittsburgh moved it at ease down inside the 10-yard line on their first possession, but unable to come up with 7, and the score is 3-0. Amos Darroway in the backfield now. Zooming the tight end in motion. Darroway, the former West Virginia star. He's inside the 45 to the 44, and a gain of nearly 8. Take a look at the starting defense for the Baltimore Ravens with veteran Burnett, the big guys in the middle, Adams and Siragusa, and Peter Boulware, second best sacker in the league, 15 on the year. Jackson, Lewis, and Sharper. Lewis, of course, to another Pro Bowl, their top tackler. Starks and McAllister at the corners. Former Steeler Rod Woodson to his 10th Pro Bowl, and Corey Harris joins him at safety. Marvin Lewis, the defensive coordinator for Baltimore. Why isn't he being mentioned for one of those open vacancies as a head coach? Stewart, plenty of time. Zips it long for Burris. Incomplete. Double covered as Harris came over to assist Chris McAllister.
Well, there's a change of pace. The double coverage that time on Plexico Burris. The last time these two teams played, the double coverage was all over Hines Ward, and Plex burned him for big yardage, 180 some yards. So now I see that the big man is going to warrant a little more attention from this Ravens secondary.
Burris and Ward combined for 1,000 yards each on the season. That's the first time it's ever happened for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And when you think of Swan and Stallworth, that great combo, that's quite a fact. Although those were primarily 14-game seasons, 2 more games to work up the yardage. This one to Burris, a push off. Is it against the offense or the defense as Burris makes the catch in front of Chris McAllister?
And they may get Burris for the push off. There was contact, and it was awfully close. Oh, they're going to call it against the Ravens. Plexico Burris, a big man.
Illegal use of the hands, hands to the face, defense number 21. The penalty is declined. The result of the play, first down.
Brian Billick told us that Chris McAllister wasn't physical. Oh, there it is right there. That shot to the face mask. You see the little shove there by Burris, but that penalty was right at the line of scrimmage. You can get that shot. That's perfectly legal, but you just can't do it into the face mask. But he told us Chris McAllister just was not physical enough with Plexico Burris last game. Well, good shot, but poorly aimed.
And quickly caught by the officials, so it's a first down outside the 26 as Stewart winds up, fires down the middle, complete. Jeremy Tooman, the tight end. Corey Harris with a jolting tackle, but Tooman holds on. It's first and goal again.
Cordell Stewart working the middle of the football field. Hines Ward into the zone coverage, and what a shot he takes from Corey Harris. Boy, that was, but again, look at the ball thrown by Cordell Stewart. His involvement in this season into a complete NFL quarterback has been a joy to watch.
Ward showing you how tough he is, not only as a blocker, but taking the hit after the catch. Zerouay breaks out of a tackle, but they have him hemmed in, and a flag goes down, and that's where you would suspect a face mask, as Brad Jackson made the Bulldog tackle.
Well, and all of a sudden, Brian Billick is seeing something he's not used to seeing. His defense making it easier for an offensive team, and that's the big one. You got the 5-yard garden variety and the 15-yarder. Of course, it'll only be half the distance to the goal line at this position on the field. Boy, Brian Billick knows his offense is not a real catch-up offense.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, defense number 50. The penalty will be assessed after this is a goal. Automatic, first down.
Boy, there's a good look at it. Jackson holds on, actually pulls the head down. Although I hated to talk about Baltimore not really having a catch-up offense at Heinz Field. That was not, it's really not, I didn't mean that. That was a mistake.
Agonizing on the sidelines, Billick, as he sees the Steelers with another first and goal from the 5. Zerouay behind blocking. But it closed down as Sharper comes in along with Ray Lewis, and Peter Boulware was down low to make the initial contact.
Well, these are two teams that make a hole disappear in a hurry. It looks like there's a crease. Look at the wave. Wayne Gandy out in front. It looks like the hole is there, but what flow, what speed by the Baltimore defenders. Two of the fastest defensive teams I have seen in a long time right here. When you're talking about linebackers flowing to the hole, nobody in this league does it quicker than the units, both units you're going to see on display today.
1 yard away from a touchdown on second and goal. Zerouay. Second effort, touchdown. Possessions, 2 impressive short drives, and 10 points. If the extra point is good.
Bouncing off tackles and running over people in short yardage situation, you'd think would either be Bettis or Fuamatu-Ma'afala. Not Famous Amos, the smallest of the Steeler backs.
Brown with the extra point. And the Steeler fans celebrate here in the opening quarter. 51 yards in 7 plays. Zerouay punches it in from 1 yard out, and it's 10-0 Pittsburgh.
Well, let's look at this touchdown run by Famous Amos. Watch Ray Lewis. He's got a beat on Zerouay. He makes the hit, but then Jamie Sharper, his own man, comes in and hits Ray Lewis instead of Zerouay and knocks him off the tackle. Well, Ray Lewis had that one. Looked like he was going to get Zerouay, and then sometimes it doesn't work out because of your own guys getting in the way.
So 10-0 Steelers here in the opening quarter as Chris Brown kicks it to Lewis. Jermaine Lewis drifts to the side and takes it at the 7. Behind the wedge at the 25, has a crease, caught and down at the 34-yard line. As John Fiala, it's appropriate here at Heinz Field that number 57 should make a tackle. 3:39 left in this opening quarter.
My man Chuck is going to kick some butt in that movie. What do you think?
You're ready.
I don't know. I kind of sensed that from that promo.
Well, the energy level of this crowd and the Steelers in their first two possessions reflected in those numbers as Pittsburgh moving quickly into scoring position and an early 10-0 lead. And the Ravens need to show something in this possession, don't you think?
Well, the Ravens have to stop making mistakes. An interception and a couple defensive penalties have been a big help to the Steelers.
Empty backfield. Gerbach throws on first down and completes for short yardage. Travis Taylor, who had 42 catches on the regular season and a budding star. He was their #1 pick a year ago.
Well, Dick, you know, players didn't talk 20 years ago the way they talk now. And some games, there's more than others. This was a pretty good week. Back and forth.
Lincoln Douglas.
Yes.
Plenty of debate.
Oh, there from Shannon Sharp to Lee Flowers. This was an active talking week.
On second down, the handoff to Brookins. And he burrows to the 40-yard line, leaving Baltimore 4 yards shy of a first down and third coming up.
Lee Flowers made the point, and Lee is a strong safety for the Steelers, that he thinks when he watches tape that a lot of teams are afraid of the Ravens, that physically they go into the game wondering if they're strong enough to go toe-to-toe with these guys. And Lee Flowers said, look, we got over that a long time ago. They're just another team as far as we're concerned.
Well, here in the AFC Central, the Steelers have won their last 5 games at Baltimore. Ravens have won the last 3 times here. It's 3rd and 4. Gerbach under pressure. Now it releases to the sideline, incomplete. That ball flying wide in the wind, intended for Taylor.
Well, he couldn't get it in there anyway. Chad Scott had all sorts of coverage. I think Elvis just threw that away. He had all sorts of time, but nobody got open against the Steelers secondary.
Scott, whose interception on the first series of this game sparked the Steelers to that quick field goal. And here's Richardson punting it to Troy Edwards, perhaps the fastest of the Steeler wide receivers and kick returner. He's taking over for Hank Poteet, pretty close to a block. And the ball bounds Baltimore's way and out of bounds around the 24-yard line. Mike Logan, the safety, was the man. There he is, number 31, wearing Donnie Shell's old number. Shell, one of the 15 men considered for the Professional Football Hall of Fame, the final 15, as
well, they're kind of excited here in Pittsburgh because there are 3 Steelers on that list. As you said, Donnie Shell, but L.C. Greenwood is one of the guys. In fact, there is the aforementioned Donnie Shell, a member of that famous Steel Curtain defense, as was L.C. Greenwood, the best pass rusher, and John Stallworth, to compliment to Lynn Swann, also a candidate, as is Art Modell, the owner of the Baltimore Ravens, and prior to that, the Cleveland Browns, for over 40 years in this league.
On first down, Zeraway is stuffed as Siragusa, almost beating the snap on that particular play. You know, earlier today here in Pittsburgh, the NFL Gatorade Punt, Pass, and Kick competition held their national finals. And coming up at the end of the 3rd quarter, the National Football League and Gatorade will recognize the national champions during an awards presentation. These are the 8 young honoring later. A loss of a yard, 2nd and 11. Stewart, sideline, and it's intercepted. A diving catch by Dwayne Starks. He's at the 10. No, it's McAllister, and McAllister is out of bounds at the 7-yard line. A shoestring pick by Chris McAllister, who had only 1 interception all season, makes a beautiful move on the ball.
When a severely underthrown ball by Cordell Stewart. It's a simple pattern. Now, yeah, McAllister gets a great break on the ball, but the ball is severely underthrown. He's trying to get it out to Matt Cushing, but look how that ball has no chance of getting out to Cushing. You know, the crowd really wondering whether that was a trap. We'll get a good look at it here. I think McAllister's got his hands underneath that. we may get a challenge, but it looks to me like that was a legitimate interception by Chris McAllister.
It happened on the sideline of the Steelers, so Bill Cowher had a pretty good angle and is challenged.
Well, it certainly happened right.
Or whether it's 1st and goal at the 7.
After reviewing the play, the Baltimore defender cradled the ball with both hands underneath him, the ball never hitting the ground. Therefore, the interception ruling is correct. 1st down, Baltimore. Pittsburgh will be charged with the timeout.
So a tide turning play by McAllister.
Well, lost, we looked so much studying that. We have to remember that Cordell Stewart, who has played 2 tremendous games so far this year against the Baltimore Ravens, that is his first egregious error. That was just not a good throw at all.
Now the pressure on the Steelers defense to hold Baltimore 7 yards away from a score. And off too quickly was Kip Vickers, number 77.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
Well, it's down around the goal line. You get excited. Kind of tough. There's a big head start. That's the difference between the first hut and the second hut. And if you think the crowd noise was loud before, get a load of this.
Gives to the veteran Terry Allen, and Allen maybe a yard into the teeth of that Pittsburgh defense. Joey Porter, and no way. Back to the interception real quickly, Dan. That's the 12th interception by Baltimore in 6 postseason games going back to last year in this. They have 12 interceptions and have not allowed a touchdown pass.
Thus, they are Super Bowl champions with a relatively pedestrian offense. That's how they do it.
2nd and goal. Gerbach, flag down. Intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by Brent Alexander. Now the flag. If it's against Baltimore, the Steelers have stopped the Ravens.
The only thing Baltimore can hope for is some kind of a false start, but they're all walking towards their sideline.
Holding. Offense, number 67. This penalty is declined. Illegal formation. Player on the end of the line was not on the line of scrimmage. Offense. This penalty is declined. The play results in an interception. Touchback.
Brent Alexander from Tennessee State, where he was a walk-on, had 4 interceptions in the regular season.
And right now, Brian Billick just can't believe what he's seeing. Ball just it came out of Elvis's his hand funny. He was expecting Shannon Sharp, I think, to be running more parallel than he was. And one mistake after the other for the Ravens.
2 interceptions off Gerbach here in the opening quarter as they give for a couple of yards for the Steelers. And here's the interception again.
And again, Elvis hit right as he throws. He's holding on to the football. He's throwing to a spot, hoping that Shannon Sharp can get to that spot. But Brent Alexander was there well in advance. And that was some takedown on Kendrell Bell.
And the final seconds tick away here in the opening quarter. A very rough one for the quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens. As in the United States, any of those having the opportunity to watch this telecast know full well the incredible support back home. As you look at the numbers here in the first quarter, and Gerbach with 2 picks and Stewart throwing 1, able to dodge score by Baltimore after the interception at the 7-yard line. Zeroaway on 2nd and 9. Gets the handoff. Battles his way close to a first down. Dropped at the 29 by Jamie Sharper. It'll be 3rd and 1. Boy, he's got the quickness.
Oh, yeah. He's got it, and he was going to be a big part of this game. Anyway, they've counted on Amos, who's back from a sore shoulder. Ray Lewis here. He's got his sights set on famous Amos. Unfortunately, he is steamed by Dan Kreider, the fullback. How about that block?
Kreider, the undrafted fullback out of New Hampshire.
Whoa, Ray didn't figure on that happening.
3rd and 1. throw and complete for a first down to Plexico Burress. And that's a short pass, but enough for the first down in front of Dwayne Starks.
Yeah, we saw that run by Zaraway last time, and we're seeing a lot of people involved. And this guy, you know, is going to be a big part of it. He just was all over the Ravens in that last game about a month ago. Those were the 2 games this season. But as you can see, over an 18-yard per catch average, and it's 6'5" and nearly 230. The biggest receiver in the game.
4 yards on that catch, enough for a first down, and the third down play to the 33. Ma'afala, and he barrels his way out to the 40-yard line and a gain of 7. So Fuamatu, Ma'afala, and Zaraway filling in for Bettis.
Yeah, in case you missed the very beginning of the game, Jerome Bettis came out for warm-ups. He was expected to play. He got a shot in his groin. It didn't go well. Somehow it affected a nerve, and he is out of the game. So as it has been for the last 5 games, Chris Fuamatu Ma'afala and Amos Zaraway have to carry the load, and so far they are.
Steelers' #1 rushing team. Oh, there's the play where Stewart acts as though something's wrong, and then they go to the reverse to Troy Edwards with Stewart blocking, and it's Edwards fumbling and covered by Pittsburgh at the 29. There is a flag down.
This will come back. This will come back. There was a hold at it's about the 45-yard line.
So Stewart with the bluff walking off as if the play call was confusing, but it's a personal foul face mask against Baltimore.
Now there's another flag back. Is that the only call? Well, that may supersede if they called the holding back up the field.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, defense number 58. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So they tag the run with 15 more.
There's the face. Oh, they're actually calling Boulware for the face mask on the blocker. Well, that's how they ended up on the ground. That's where the flag was thrown. So my mistake, I thought they were calling the hold at that spot. They were calling the face mask on Boulware.
And Hines Ward alertly downfield to cover the fumble of Edwards. First down at the 14. Again a run by Stewart. And a couple there into the grasp of 350-pound Tony Siragusa.
Boy, that was really an alert call by the official, because at the point of attack like that, you see 2 guys locked up. They both end up on the ground. The flag comes down. You instantly, that was really observant by the official on the spot to see the face mask.
99 out of 100, it's a hold.
Yeah, right here. Take a look at this. That's Plexico Burress. And right there you see what a great job of seeing the face mask by Peter Boulware.
Second down and 8. Cordell Stewart in trouble. Still in trouble. Able to scamper out of trouble.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, my! Do they love that in Pittsburgh?
How demoralizing for the Ravens defense. They've got 3 or 4 guys just standing there with their hands on their hips. Most of all, Peter Boulware, who right there, instead of wrapping up Cordell Stewart, misses him once, misses him twice, and then helplessly watches him run down the field.
Turns a certain loss of 10, maybe 15, 18 yards into a gain of 4.
A tough series here, Dick, for Peter Boulware. The 15-yard face mask penalty, and now a missed tackle on a blitz where he had him squared away.
And Cordell Stewart says, I need some breath. Timeout for Baltimore.
That seemed hard to fathom.
Ravens need to stop here on 3rd and 4 to force a field goal. A touchdown by the Steelers is going to make it really difficult on Baltimore. Stewart from a shotgun. And down he goes as he is stuffed by Larry Webster, the veteran from Maryland, who did not have a full sack all season long.
But other than trying to run away from it, a smart play by Cordell Stewart. Do not throw it. You know that even if you take the sack, you're still in field goal position for Chris Brown. Do not get foolish with the football. That's just good work that time by Larry Webster. He's working against Alan Faneca, a Pro Bowler. Stayed with it. Got the swim back to the inside.
35 yards for Brown. Is it good? It hooked wide left. So that is the end that has caused the problems for Chris Brown, and the Steelers missed 4 out of 5 in the earlier game this season where Baltimore won.
Well, the wind is negligible. Look at the flags hanging there, the ribbons. You can't blame anything other than just plain pulling the football.
Welcome back. Chris Brown, who missed more field goals than any kicker in the NFL, also had more attempts than almost everyone. He missed 14 times, 4 of those against Baltimore, and many of them to the right. He's been practicing every Wednesday, coming over to this facility to practice on his field goals, and he takes the lonely seat after missing from 35 to the left.
And he's had 2 good years prior to this. He was 25 of 29 in 99, 25 of 30 last year. So this is it's not a good trend.
And for Baltimore, can they take advantage as Terry Allen with only a yard gain on first down?
Well, the last time that the game was played here, the Steelers had a huge advantage in all the statistics except the made field goal statistic. And Bill Cowher watched 4 different times as Chris Brown missed.
And that one was a chance to tie.
And that one would have tied up the football game at the very end and sent it into overtime. So right now, you know what's going through his head.
2nd and 9, the draw play call, and it goes to Mo Williams, and Williams gains only a couple. It'll be 3rd and 7 as we switch down to the field, and Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Dick, I had a chance to watch Chris Brown pretty closely before the game started, and he was kicking comfortably, making a bunch of field goals from the 40, 45-yard range, and I asked him what he's really done to try to improve those numbers, and he said the thing that's really helped is during practice, Coach would have me sit idle and then go and get cold, then go out and try to kick after different drills, and he thinks that's really helped.
3rd down and 7. Mo Williams in the backfield. Gerbach searches for an open man to the sideline and batted away by Lee Flowers, the strong safety intended for Brandon Stokely. Didn't seem to have a lot on that pass.
Oh, well, no, it didn't, but what a good play by Flowers. This is Lee Flowers. They're sitting back in the zone, and he's working the sideline. And again, this is a guy that used to play corner. He's strong safety now, so he's got some experience on the outside of the field. He's at home. What a big series for the Steelers defensively. Baltimore, who really needed some momentum to capitalize on that missed field goal, got nothing.
Richardson to punt. Troy Edwards back at the Pittsburgh 30-yard line. He's fumbled the ball twice, but able to escape without losing it on both occasions. Finds an open crease at the 50 and tackled from behind at the 44 of Baltimore by the snapper Dale Hellestray. Steelers back in Baltimore territory, a 10-0 lead. On the net, including expert analysis, live scoreboards. I'll give you the rest of that in a moment as it's to Hines Ward and aboard the wide receiver on the end around with a couple of yards. Reminder to go to cbs.sportsline.com or America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline.
Right now, Rod Woodson and the rest of this Baltimore Raven defensive unit realize that they have had a whole lot dumped on their plate early in this game here as we start making our way through the second half. They are getting nothing from their offense. There's Chris McAllister, the cornerback. You see him making the play right there on the sidelines, and it looks like he and Ray Lewis tangled legs. So McAllister over on the Ravens bench.
And so on 2nd down, the long fake from Stewart, looking downfield and throwing complete. Mexico Burris, 1st down at the 25.
What a wonderful piece of ball handling that time by Cordell Stewart. That was beautifully done. Mike Mularkey, the offensive coordinator for the Steelers, a good call. Look at the fake, and it just freezes everybody in the middle. But look how patient Cordell is rolling out. There was a time when that rollout would have been more of a sprint than it would have been a controlled movement like we saw that time by Cordell Stewart.
3 catches for Burris, as you see, with 34 yards in his bank. First down inside the 25. And Saragusa, who guessed right on the last series, didn't this time. He's offside.
That certainly draws a response from the crowd.
Encroachment. Number 98 defense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Well, you know, he guessed on the snap count that time, the Goose. But I got to tell you one thing. It's kind of like docking the Queen Mary. Once something that big gets moving, it just doesn't stop quickly. And once Big Tony came out of his stance and started moving upfield, I'm afraid it would take a couple tugboats to get that baby stopped.
5 penalties now for Baltimore, none for Pittsburgh. The toss to Zerouay. He has quick feet, and a first down inside the 10-yard line. Rod Woodson from his safety spot making the tackle.
Boy, what sensational blocking, as this is, again, watch all the people at the point of attack. There's Wayne Gandy out front. Dan Kreider again with an outstanding block. Over pursuit then by the Ravens, and the cutback by Zerouay. A formula for positive yardage.
Zerouay, who had 73 yards rushing, his career best at Baltimore in the 26-21 regular season win. 37 today. Well, on the 10, first and goal. Stewart underneath. Oh, what a tough catch by Hines Ward at the 1-yard line.
Boy, this Pittsburgh passing game and what has happened to it here this football season has been something to watch. The confidence they have in one another. Not a great throw by Cordell Stewart, but a 99 out of a 100 catch by Hines Ward. Look at that. What a thing of beauty. Corey Harris not in position to do anything about it. He comes up, and even with the big hit, Hines Ward holds on to the football.
Second and goal from the 1. Zerouay. No signal yet. And it appears they're going to mark it just inches outside the goal line.
He reached out at the last minute with the football, but I think his knee was already on the ground by the time he actually made the stretch with the football.
Credit Pro Bowler Sam Adams.
Let's watch the knee. That was awfully close. That was awfully close.
So third and goal as the nose of that football tickling the goal line.
And you have to think that they might try it twice here, Dick, with Chris Brown.
Zerouay is the Pittsburgh way.
That's Bill Cowher's wife, Kay, and his 3 daughters. Oh, they're proud of Papa.
She, a former basketball star at North Carolina State. As Zerouay with a human dunk in the end zone, and it's 16-0. Their daughter Megan, who is 6'1", a sophomore in high school, is quite a promising high school basketball player herself. Brown straight down the middle on the extra point. 17-0, and it's a first half party here in Pittsburgh.
How good a look is that? Famous Amos Zerouay without the bus. He takes the taxi right to the end zone.
Those terrible towels of the 1970s in considerable display here at Heinz Field today. 17-0. Zerouay the 1-yard dive for the touchdown as the Steelers continue to work with a short field down to Corey Harris this time. And Harris, the former Vanderbilt running back, to the 29-yard line and tripped up by Lindsey Jackson.
Well, now the tempers start to flare a little bit. That's certainly no surprise when a game starts to get out of control on the scoreboard. A lot of testosterone floating around down there. Let's go back and look at the touchdown one more. You know, you count on your linebackers to stop going over the top. Watch both Baltimore linebackers. They're going to go low. And when Zerouay gets to the line of scrimmage, he sees there's nobody up there. Both linebackers are down in the pile, and even at 5'8", Famous Amos shows that he's got a little vertical to his game. but no Baltimore linebacker was able to get into the air to meet him midair.
Well, after 5 games, 1 touchdown allowed, 2 allowed here in the first half by the Baltimore defense, and Gerbach's pass goes through the hands of Ismail, the wide receiver, who has had a great year, led the Ravens in catches with 74 and some of his biggest plays against Pittsburgh.
Dick, if this Baltimore offense right now isn't feeling some urgency, they're lost, because a 3-and-out right here for Baltimore could spell disaster. The route could be on if they don't show a little muscle and get at least a first down or 2.
They have only 13 yards in 15 plays.
That's pathetic.
Gerbach into the flat, complete to Allen, breaks out of a tackle, fumbles the ball, and Pittsburgh has it.
That's Tim Lewis, the Pittsburgh defensive coordinator. How happy he must be.
Earl Holmes and Jason Gilden collaborate on the play. Gilden,
like it so often happens, Dick, Terry Allen trying to make something happen. The effort is there. He forces a missed tackle by Gilden. And then in the second effort, he ends up being stripped of the football. And that's just great hustle by Terry Allen. It doesn't work out as Earl Holmes strips the football right there. And this is as anemic of an offensive effort by a football team that I have seen in the playoffs in a long time.
And another short field, the 34-yard line for Cordell Stewart, and what has been a high-powered offense for the Steelers. And Stewart looking for it big down the middle. Incomplete to Hines Ward. He is rattled by a hit from Rod Woodson, the veteran who still can punish you. And Ward looks over, waves at him. Nice tackle.
There's some history here. Hines Ward got a devastating hit on Rod Woodson in their game in December, and this is a payback. That is a completion all the way without that big hit from Rod Woodson, because Hines Ward would have held on to that football. He was starting to put it away, and that's why Rod Woodson's going to be in the Hall of Fame. That's the way you want your free safety, to seal off the middle. Don't come in here and not expect to get hit.
Number 1 pick by the Steelers back in '87, 10 Pro Bowls, over 60 interceptions. Stewart just does get it off in time on a screen. Zerway falling as he made the reception, and that'll cost the Steelers a 1-yard loss on the play as Adalius Thomas was pressuring the quarterback. Tonight on 60 Minutes, should a suspected terrorist be tortured to make him talk? The differing numbers at the 34. They come out 4 wide this time with Stewart in the gun. Over the middle, complete to Edwards, short of the first down marker at the 29-yard line, with Dwayne Starks making the defensive play. And out will come Chris Brown. A little less pressure on him this time with a score of 17-0.
Yeah, but still a little longer field goal. This will be what, maybe 47 yards or so?
He missed
45
earlier from 35.
Where are they going to spot this thing?
At the 36, so it'll be 46 yards.
Well,
it is good. 20-0 Pittsburgh, as Terry Allen's fumble becomes another 3 for the Steelers.
And this was, it looked initially like it's going to start to hook, but then it straightens out. And oh, what this had to mean to Chris Brown. You know, doubts start to creep in. Yeah, I needed that, and I needed that badly.
And especially if Pittsburgh fans might be good.
One of the leaders of this offensive football team. It has gone very bad for the Ravens offensively. They have a chance to maybe make something happen here before halftime, or their season is spiraling down you know what. Their success is now going to be measured by getting a first down. That's where it's going to start.
Sad but true if you're a Ravens fan. Jermaine Lewis takes it away from his teammate and grabbed by an ankle at the 35-yard line. And a first down from that point at the 35-yard line. Tuesday on CBS. See why The Guardian is America's most watched news show. A client hiding a family secret. Online keyword superbowl.com. Terry Allen in the backfield. Gerbach fires on first down, and it's complete. Close to a first down. A gain of about 9 to Travis Taylor.
Well, it has been a struggle, to say the least, for the Ravens in the first half. Look at that. 2 punts and 4 turnovers. That's incredulous, and not one of those possessions over 10 yards. That's mind-boggling.
Steelers with 13 first downs, none for Baltimore until now, as Shannon Sharp makes the catch, bumped out of bounds by Joey Porter, and that is the initial first down for the Ravens. It comes with 3 minutes, 3 seconds left in the half.
Earl Holmes, he's heading to the Pittsburgh locker room. Earl Holmes, the signal caller in the middle. It has been a wonderful first half for Pittsburgh defensively to this point. Chad Scott there with the interception, and just over Alexander in the end zone. It's been some half for Pittsburgh.
From the 50-yard line, the first down throw is complete. And Sharp back-to-back receptions, and that one close to a first down just outside the Pittsburgh 40-yard line. The first Baltimore trip into Steeler territory as Holmes once out of sight of the crowd here at Heinz Field, showing that he is suffering some pain, much more than he showed while on the field.
Barely made it up the steps, and he is walking very tenderly into the locker room.
Second and about a foot. Porter on the blitz. They pick it up, and the throw is over Sharp's head. Third down and less than 1. Coming up on the Nextel halftime report, Jim, Mike, Randy, Jerry, the gang back in New York with their first half analysis, plus Troy Brown in New England. Oh, they got to have some big smiles back there in Foxborough. Join them live, all coming up on the Nextel halftime report.
Baltimore has plenty of time to make something happen here.
And a touchdown will give them some lift going into the locker room. Give to Brookins, and he can't get the first down. John Fiala in for the injured Earl Holmes at linebacker. The 240-pounder from the University of Washington there with the initial hit.
They're going to we'll find out after the 2-minute warning, but they're going to have to go for it. That anybody's played in the conference. A huge play here, though, for the Ravens. No choice but to go for it on fourth down.
2 minutes to go in the half. They need the first down. Gerbach to throw under pressure and able to get it away complete to Shannon Sharp, the all-time receiver at that tight end position. He ended this year with 692 catches, passing Ozzie Newsome for the all-time mark by a tight end.
Well, the progress is slow, but they're laying some building blocks here. They're trying to build a foundation, anything to go into halftime with that they could be positive about.
Gerbach under some pressure down the middle. Great catch by Sharp in traffic. Double coverage from Logan and Flowers, and he picks it off inside the 10.
Looks like Mike Logan and Shannon Sharp have the ball together. Look at that. But that goes to Shannon Sharp. He's got the football. What a sensational catch by this 8-time Pro Bowler. And Shannon surprised that he got voted to the Pro Bowl this year. He said, I thought I had actually a better year last year. But how about that? When they need it on fourth down, when they need the big play on first down, go to your Hall of Famer.
And the Ravens spend their first time out with a 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. And Shannon, who is as loquacious as any player in the league, and we ask him, well, after football, you got to start thinking, what do you want to do? He said, well, I'm better than my brother Sterling at everything else. I might as well try sportscasting.
Yeah, never short of anything to say, but you know something, Shannon isn't where he is because he talks a good game. Shannon is there because he plays a good game.
He'll have a special spot in Canton Reserve for him as you look at the leaders today for the Ravens, and not much to shout about. They need a score here. First and goal from the 8, and Mo Williams, the running back, he gets the handoff, hit immediately. Charging through Kimo von Oelhoffen, the veteran defensive tackle from Boise State.
Well, not a lot of glory for the front three. The linebackers get the glory, but that time von Oelhoffen, a good solid play.
Gerbach looks to the end zone, throwing complete for the touchdown. Brandon Stokely, no, he was out of bounds. Caught the ball but didn't get the second foot down as Stokely thought he had 6 and had beaten Deshae Townsend, an extra defensive back.
Well, why don't we take a closer look at this, Dick? Let's go ahead and take a look at Brandon Stokely as he gets to the outside. Well, the ruling is that the left foot touched the sideline. I think we'll look at this from multiple angles.
No challenge yet.
Well, there can't be a challenge. Yes, we're inside 2 minutes, so it's up to the replay official. But clearly right there, you could see his left foot was out of bounds. Inside 2 minutes, the decision is up in the booth. And wisely, and I think this is a smart move, stop the game, make sure. This is a big game.
From that angle, tough to tell, but the other angle was pretty conclusive.
That last look we had, it certainly looked conclusive to me. Here, this will tell us too. And that left foot definitely is out of bounds. An excellent piece of work by the officiating crew.
And by Mike Arnold, our director, landed the ball.
No, that was
a fumble.
It's an anomaly in the rule book.
The Baltimore receiver had 1 foot down on the ground dragging it, but the second foot came down out of bounds. Incomplete pass.
But I think that was smart. Go ahead, be sure. Don't find out after the fact that maybe we should have taken a closer look at that play.
Little has gone well for that man in this first half, and Billick now makes his call, 3rd and goal at the 8. Baltimore is 0 for 5 on 3rd downs today. Underneath, they go incomplete. Never had possession. Todd Heap, the rookie tight end from Arizona State.
Boy, it was a good throw from Elvis Gerbach. It looked like he got the ball right in there where Heap should have caught it. But Heap never was able to put it away. Yeah, he took a couple of good hits. Jason Gilden is right there behind him. He takes a front side hit right there from Lee Flowers, but he never had a good handle on the football.
So Matt Stover comes on. The Ravens want at least some points on the board, and this a short 26-yarder. Reliable Stover, a former national winner in the punt, pass, and kick competition in his youth out of Dallas, where he was coached by Dan Reeves, the Atlanta head coach in the YMCA. So Stover gets 3 for Baltimore.
There's a nugget if ever I've heard one. Coached by Dan Reeves, really.
The YMCA when Reeves was involved with the Cowboys. So 20-3 the score as the Ravens in this case, Billick wanted to make certain that he didn't come away empty on that 4th and goal. Shannon Sharp with a couple of big catches on the drive, 57 yards in 11 plays. Well, it's playoff action today, and next Saturday college bass on the Nextel halftime report. Here comes down to Troy Edwards at the 12. Full steam. And he's across the 40 to the 42-yard line with Dwayne Starks making the tackle, and 44 seconds left in the half. Steelers led by Stewart, 8 for 11. Not a lot of yardage there and 1 interception, but they've run the ball well again today, led by Zeraway with his 38 yards and 2 touchdowns. They worked with a short field. There are 3 scoring drives from the Baltimore 43. Then they had a 51-yard drive for a touchdown after a short punt, and then after the fumble, a 43-yard drive for 7.
Well, Pittsburgh knows that they're going to begin the second half with the possession of the football. It'd be very interesting to see if they get very aggressive.
They get it on the ground to Zeraway, and Zeraway across the 45 to the 46, about 5 on the play.
And that's really no surprise. I think Pittsburgh is content to go into the half down, leading 20-3, knowing that they'll start the second half with the football. Yes, it's outstanding field position. But I think the way Bill Cowher plays football, relying on his defensive football team, he's not going to take a chance.
Stewart now does call time as the clock ran down to 14 seconds. And maybe Cowher's thought as well, we could wind up and throw a long one and hope maybe something good
and see if you get a penalty. Maybe see if you can get some sort of a penalty. Although a lot of the Steelers already went inside. There's Dwayne Washington on his way into the locker room. He's in for a bit of a surprise.
If there's a turnover here, they're going to have to send out an emergency call for some of the defense.
I hope the televisions are on in the locker room, guys. Don't get undressed yet. There.
They got the word. Get back out there.
There's Lee Flowers walking up in front of Dwayne. So that was quite a curveball they were throwing there by their head coach and Cordell taking that time.
And of course, Cordell Stewart with this long Hail Mary type conditions goes back to his great throw for Colorado that beat the University of Michigan.
And now he's just been taking a knee.
Thanks a lot, Cordell.
Yeah.
So with that kneel down, the Pittsburgh Steelers do head to the locker room with a very impressive first half. The score, Pittsburgh 20, the Ravens 3. We go down to Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Dick, the Ravens may have Super Bowl experience, but a 17-point halftime deficit, the largest you've faced this season, Brian. How do you go about trying to overcome this one?
Well, we've been here before. We've been down 21 before, and that's what you have to fight through. You can't give in to the emotion of it. You can't second guess yourself and get pulled down with it. We'll come out, try to execute, and see if we can emotionally pull ourselves out of this.
Coach, thank you.
All right, and thanks, Bonnie. And you just got a sample of what Brian Billick will be telling his team. Try to inspire something that is more impressive in the second half. So it's 20-3. Pittsburgh placement kicker kickoff man for the Baltimore Ravens because of his depth. And not Stover, and he sends the second half kickoff down to Lindsey Jackson. And Jackson, a rare return to the 30. Fumble the ball, and out of bounds it goes in Pittsburgh's possession. Another fumble that stays in Pittsburgh's hands. Bonnie?
Some quick injury updates on the Ravens side. Tight end Todd Heap sprained his ankle at the end of the first half. He's questionable. Dan, you mentioned Earl Holmes. He sprained his knee. He is out for the game. Nonetheless, Bill Cowher extremely happy with his defense and the havoc they've created. And he also touched on running back Amos Zaraway. Now, he told us before the game he expected Zaraway would get more play because he's a quicker back than Bettis, could get outside, quick burst to the hole. He said, I knew we'd use him a lot. I didn't realize just how much we'd use him.
And Zaraway's in there now, Bonnie, with the blocker John Whitman in front, and he gets the handoff. Slips outside and crosses the 35 to the 36 with Ray Lewis and Jamie Sharper on his heels.
And that's a good look at Zaraway just getting around the corner. Even though Ray Lewis, Dick, ended up making the tackle, Zaraway got positive yardage, and he's the only Steeler back that could have gotten an edge like that against Ray Lewis and picked up a good 4 to 5 yards.
I was going to ask Bonnie, and maybe she can find out for us, with Jerome Bettis unable to play because of that injection that caught a nerve just prior to the kickoff, whether or not he's watching back in the clubhouse or whether he's made any appearance on the sidelines. 2nd down and 5. Has to be a very disappointing day for him. This looked to be a planned run, and Stewart fumbles the ball, and again the Steelers able to fall on it, but flag goes down after the play, and signal goes against the Steelers.
I think they rolled Cordell down on the ground prior to the ball coming loose.
Jamie Sharper making the defensive play.
Would have brought up a 3rd down situation.
Yep, and maybe they are going to decline based on Corrente's actions.
I think they've got to see exactly what the yardage would be. Going back to where Cordell Stewart was down, it would be 3rd and whatever that number is, somewhere in that 4 to 5 yard area. Brian Billick, what's more important here, the down or the yardage? It'll be 2nd down, and of course a lot farther to go. Everybody here seems to be a little.
Well, the officials started to walk off the penalty, and I'm not sure
Holding. Offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty. Repeat down.
So the Ravens have accepted the penalty, the holding on Wayne Gandy, and they'll back up the Steelers.
Gandy in his 8th year has been in the league the longest, along with Kimo von Oelhoffen, without making it to a Super Bowl on this Pittsburgh roster. Second and 15 for Stewart. Good protection. Fires complete to Plexico Burress. First down yardage out to the 43.
Well, that backfired. They gave the Steelers the extra down in the yardage, and they gobbled that up in a hurry. So rather than 3rd and about 5, they went for 2nd and long, and Cordell responds with a perfect strike to Plexico Burress, and working against a very soft Raven zone.
Boy, he sold the outside move well, didn't he? He's a bigger target than 6'5". He says he's closer to 6'6", tallest wide receiver in the league. First down at the 44 of the Steelers. Cordell, quick throw and complete across the 50 at the 48. As Hines Ward, who set a Pittsburgh record this year with 94 catches, the old Mark Yancey Thigpen 85.
It's just the way that Cordell Stewart throws the ball with confidence, and why not when this is what you're throwing to? Hines Ward with 94 on the regular season, Burris with 66, and really the 3 of them, including Cordell Stewart, got off to a very slow start, and it sure didn't look like they were going to finish the season the way they started.
Well, the chemistry of this team, as Cowher would attest, and the Pittsburgh fans, has been remarkable in the last 2.5 months. Zeroaway tackled by Burnett after a gain of a couple. It's a first down. Bonnie?
Well, Dick, we checked in on Jerome Bettis. He's still in the building. He's still in the training room. No, he hasn't made an appearance out here on the field, but a little mouse told me he is firmly planted in the training room and in front of a TV and is very happy with the job the guys filling in for him are doing.
Yeah, he's such a delightful man, and not only one of the great runners, the number 12 rusher all time in NFL history, and he was salivating at the thought of being able to play today, but a great team guy as well, and he'll be the first to congratulate the runners who have taken his place today. He's certain of that. Handoff, Zeroaway, picking and choosing and getting a couple to the 44-yard line on first down.
Well, it has been a productive day so far for the aforementioned Amos Zeroaway. See, he's the X factor. He brings such a different look. He's got more speed than any of the Steelers running back, more cutback ability. That was an outstanding touchdown run where he made a quick cut, and of course his second one where he goes over the top. Famous Amos is demonstrating that he's got a lot of little running tricks in his bag. He has shown a wide variety of moves so far, and we've still got an entire half to go.
2 touchdowns today. He had 2 total on the season, 1 rushing and 1 catching. Cordell on the scramble, chased by Adams and Saragusa. So it might be wise to head out of bounds over here and be caught by Larry Webster.
Well, Tony Saragusa is faster than you would think for a man of his size, but chasing Cordell Stewart has to be a bit of a frustrating experience. We'll see Tony come into the picture here from the left. There he goes. Now, you know, he's moving better than you might think. That's for guys, you know, Tony's announced his retirement. He's got some bad wheels, and look at that. He's in such good shape he didn't even need any water. Check those out.
Played his college ball here at the University of Pittsburgh. Has a lot of family and friends here cheering him. Blitz. Stewart throws incomplete. He did have a man there, Dan Kreider, and it was Corey Harris coming on a safety blitz to pressure Cordell Stewart.
Well, Cordell Stewart, again, when the pressure's up the middle and totally unblocked is Corey Harris. Cordell, though, without moving very far, just that called pocket movement. He just moved subtly, just a couple of yards, enough shiftiness to make Harris miss, and he's able to get rid of the football. You really think that a couple of years ago that that's the type of thing that Cordell Stewart would have just taken off and tried to make something crazy happen.
Jermaine Lewis, ever dangerous at the 10, is Josh Miller about to deliver his first punt of the game, and they let the play clock run out and a delay of game is signaled.
But if there's one guy on this field, Dick, you and I both know can get the Ravens back into this ball game, it's number 84. Time and time
Delay
again.
game. Offense, 5 yards. Repeat, 4th down.
Jermaine Lewis has made a big punt return to get the Ravens back on track when they've been in the doldrums.
6 punt return touchdowns in his 6 years in the league out of Maryland. High wobbler that Lewis takes it to 17 and wrapped up immediately as downfield was Troy Edwards to make the play. He not only returns kicks for the Steelers, he's the first man down against the opposing returner. Timeout in Pittsburgh. Into the mind of Ray Lewis. Can his offense get some points? And then will the Ravens defense be sharper this second half? They stop Pittsburgh on their first possession. And now it's Baltimore from its 18. Gerbach into the flat. And it's Terry Allen. Boy, he meets resistance from rookie Kendrell Bell in a hurry. This second-round pick out of Georgia.
Well, that kind of speed shows you why he was the AP Rookie of the Year. He only got 41 of the 50 possible votes. And you know what? The Steelers had 2 other Defensive Rookie of the Year. Jack Lambert and Joe Green.
Did they do any good?
Pretty lofty company for Kendrell Bell.
Of course, he's the first linebacker to start as a rookie since Lambert back in '74. Trying to get outside is Terry Allen. Gets to the corner and then is ridden off the field of play.
Allen, the ball carrier.
That'll be well shy of a first down.
20, Dwayne Washington.
An awfully good stiff arm at the end of this run by Terry Allen, who only at 208 pounds has power that really belies his size. Boy, that's a pretty good one right into the throat. You can see the Dwayne Washington. He's got the angle. He's right there to make the play. But that stiff arm buys Terry Allen another couple of yards.
Wiley Allen over 100 yards rushing against Minnesota and Miami the last 2 games.
On a couple of bionic knees.
Oops. Shannon Sharp appeared to jump the gun.
Elvis Gerbach, I think, was changing the play. That was a really prolonged snap count.
False start. Offense, number 82. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Now the Ravens pinched themselves several times on penalties at crucial times in the first half. Billick needs the play to be more perfect.
This crowd hasn't gotten back into the game yet here in the second half. This is their first chance to shine.
3rd and 9. Go back to the sidelines to Taylor. Was he inbounds? No. Chad Scott covering for Pittsburgh.
That was a heck of an effort by Travis Taylor, trying to get both feet down on a ball that was thrown a little wide. He makes the break on Chad Scott. He does a great job of dragging the right foot. The official on the sideline must have ruled that the left foot was out of bounds initially.
So the Ravens are now 0 for 7 third down conversions today. Troy Edwards back for Richardson's punt. That one off the side of his foot. Covered by the up back, and that's Bobby Shaw.
What a risky catch.
Has it at the 43 of Baltimore. That was a good but a dangerous play. Timeout with 8:53 left. Back at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh with the Steelers leading 20-3. Get exclusive NFL insider analysis from Jay Glazer, Pete Prisco at cbs.sportsline.com or America Online keyword CBS Sportsline. Ball belongs to Cordell Stewart and the Steelers at the Baltimore 43. Another short field for the home team.
And the load being placed on this Baltimore defense gets ever more heavy here, Dick, as time after time they've got to defend a very short field, and of course they're down by 17.
And part of the Pittsburgh style, as you saw that last graphic, possession time 2-1 over Baltimore today. Tossed to Zaraway, and right there is Kelly Gregg, the third-year defensive tackle from Oklahoma. Played in NFL Europe, kind of grooved his game and made this Ravens roster.
And one of the few plays for substantial negative yardage against the Steelers offense today. Not very often you get a tackle on a running play that's not a reverse or something of that nature that really ends up in that many negative yards.
And he guessed right there and made the big play. 2nd and 16 with Hines Ward in motion. Stewart will pump in the run. Flags down, so is Stewart.
I think they're going to get a holding call on the Steelers that time. I think Delius Thomas was in a position to make a play, and he got tackled.
So this the worst series of the game for the Steelers, moving backwards. A loss on 1st down on the tackle by Gregg, and now the hold as you look at Edwin Mulatana.
Holding offense number 84. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. 2nd down.
That's Jeremy Tooman, the tight end. This is him working right here. Pretty much of a takedown right in plain view, and boy, you see the flag coming in at his feet. So you're right. A couple of pretty ugly runs by the Steelers. They keep this up, and they may be facing one of the longer 3rd downs we've seen in a while.
Surprisingly, Peter Bulwer, their top pass rusher, taken out of the game here in a pass situation. Stewart bluffing the quarterback draw and throwing long, incomplete.
Boy, that's one of those deals where it almost looked like Cordell made up his mind he was going to throw that ball regardless of what the coverage, because that was an unwise throw. You've got a 17-point lead. That's not the time to take a chance. Rod Woodson and Chris McAllister are the 2 Ravens back there, and they're just too close to take a chance like that.
Intended for Hines Ward, but Jeremy Tooman was only about 5 yards away, the tight end.
Kind of a nifty little play, though. Cordell faked like he was running, then backed up. That's a double clutcher for sure.
No wrinkle. So 3rd and 26.
There's the blitz up the middle.
And Stewart gets it off, and no flag thrown as yet, so he was considered to be outside the pocket. Sharper coming in on him.
Yeah, that was again, the best pressure is always the pressure up the middle. Anthony Mitchell was coming in, Jamie Sharper, and that was by far the worst offensive series for the Steelers today, other than one where there was a turnover. That was 3 ugly plays.
Now Josh Miller to punt it. Jermaine Lewis drifting back inside his 15. Now picks up some blocks.
Look out.
40, one man to beat the punter, and he will not be able to catch Jermaine Lewis. There it is, as advertised. Lewis, 88 yards for the touchdown.
He had a 62-yarder against the Steelers the last time they played, and you wonder, why do you kick to Jermaine Lewis? The most dangerous punt return man in the NFL. If I'm kicking the ball, those sidelines have to look awfully inviting, and that was just beautiful blocking by his punt return team. There wasn't a Steeler that came within 2 yards of getting a hand on Jermaine Lewis, and all of a sudden, guess what? The Ravens are back in this game.
And as Bill Cowher warned, we've got to be able to corral Jermaine Lewis as the extra point connects for Matt Stover. Lewis with 6 punt return touchdowns regular season, gets one today. Jermaine Lewis showing you why his colleagues around the league voted him to the Pro Bowl as the special teams player ever dangerous. 6 in the regular season. Remember, he had a kickoff return for a touchdown in the last Super Bowl as well. 20-10. Plenty of time. We're at the midpoint of the 3rd period. And Line drives it down to Troy Edwards. Edwards holding that ball way out to his side. And Calvin Porter and company take him down at the 30-yard line.
Edwards on the return.
And we have a timeout with 7:04 left in the 3rd. Baltimore draws within 10. Jermaine Lewis's strike 88-yard punt return touchdown. draining some of the enthusiasm out of this partisan Pittsburgh crowd. Now the Steelers, after that, as Dan described it so well, ugly series on their last possession, see if they can generate something from their 30. And Stewart tucks it away and takes the hit after a gain of 5.
Well, let's look at this kickoff return at the very end of it. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5, the Steelers 35. Well, I think we're having a little problem with that. At the end of it, though, Danny Kite, I think, showed that he was a drama major in college. What's important here now for Pittsburgh is to see how they're handling adversity for the very first time today. Baltimore's been dealing with it for 2.5 quarters. Now we'll see how Pittsburgh responds.
2nd and 5. And caught in the backfield. It is Zeraway and dropped. Jamie Sharper, and then the assist to Ray Lewis. Here's a footnote on the punt return touchdown by Jermaine Lewis. 88 yards is the longest punt return in NFL postseason history. So a little history made by Lewis here in Pittsburgh today.
Well, Baltimore has been dealing with this, and right now I'm sure they're thinking that it's about time that Pittsburgh shows how they can handle some tough times. Bad offensive series before, punt return for a touchdown, and now still not much going on offensively. Regain their focus. That's what Pittsburgh has to do.
Shotgun on 3rd and 8. Steps away from the blitz. Whoa, how did he get out of those 2 tackles? Throws incomplete. Hines Ward with a diving attempt at the 45. Corey Harris covering. Sam Adams and Ray Lewis put pressure on Stewart.
And this is about as quiet as you have heard this crowd at Heinz Field all day long, because they smell trouble. They're sensing that things are not well in Steelerland right now. Yeah, you got a 10-point lead, but you know these are the defending world champions you're dealing with.
And Miller with Jermaine Lewis aims it toward the sidelines.
One punt too late.
No, the Ravens will come up with good field position close to the 40-yard line, the 39, but they kept it away from Jermaine Lewis. And there's a flag down at the 38 back on Pittsburgh's half of the field. Holding against the Ravens.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 88. By rule, this penalty would be enforced at the spot where the ball went out of bounds, 10 yards, 1st down.
Tight end John Jones. So the Ravens will start from the 29-yard line with 5:31 left in the 3rd, trailing by 10. Back on their feet. Chanting defense as Baltimore, after the penalty, opens up at the 29. 20-10 Pittsburgh with 5.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Gerback almost intercepted as Joey Porter, ranging into the flat, had his hands on it.
Well, Elvis just breathed a very deep sigh of relief. That would have been a backbreaker. He doesn't see Porter underneath as he's just trying to get it outside to Ismail. He sees that Ismail certainly being given a good cushion by Dwayne Washington on the corner. Never saw Porter.
Terry Allen, the tailback. Fake to him. Fire by Gerbach, incomplete. Went right through the hands. That's a rare drop by Travis Taylor, who has been blue-fingered here this season and catching 42.
Well, Travis Taylor and Elvis Gerbach hooked up last week in that play in Miami down the sideline for one of the bigger plays of the game. But that's the kind of a drop you can't afford when you're trying to come back into a football game.
Oh, he hit him between the 8 and the 9, didn't he? 0 for 7 today. Baltimore on 3rd down. Here's 3rd and 10. Underneath, incomplete. No flag. Kadri Ismail covered by Dwayne Washington. 0 for 8 on 3rd down.
Yep, and the crowd is back into the game. That's It's just you're allowed to put that left hand on the receiver, which is what Dwayne Washington did. He came around with the right hand and got it on the football. That's a good, sound defensive play by a veteran corner.
Kyle Richardson to kick it. Troy Edwards back at the 30. Bobby Shaw the up. Return man. A beautiful spiral delivered by Richardson back to the 24. Edwards with flags down, crossing the 30-yard line. Gary Baxter down the bottom of the pile for the Ravens. And this one apparently to go against the Steelers.
Corey Harris was the Raven down there trying to make a play on the punt return, and I think he got blocked from behind or held, or one or the other. Looks like held.
Bill Cowher looking puzzled, and well he should, as his
During
team.
the return of the kick, holding, receiving team number 26, 10-yard penalty, first down.
His team so hot wired in that opening half, but flat here in the third.
Well, certainly offensively, that was an outstanding defensive series. Now we've got to get a little something out of his offense. That's what Bill Cowher telling his team right now. Guys, the defense stepped up. You've got to step up now.
From the 17, Cordell Stewart tosses the zero away. Behind some blockers, but good pursuit by those linebackers, Jamie Sharper and Peter Boulware, along with Dwayne Starks. Well, what's the most important factor? A team making the Super Bowl. Here's some options: dominant defense, high scoring offense, win the turnover battle. How about home field, playoff experience, the head coach, or others? Why don't you log on, cast your vote at NFL.com. I think hot dog, you rate the hot dogs around the league, and sometimes that can be factored in. You never know. That's a whole other issue.
We've had hot dogs in every state.
That's why I brought it up. Just finished one. Stewart trying to throw in the flat low to zero away, incomplete, and things just not clicking now. And part of that is this Baltimore defense has stepped it up, putting pressure on Stewart.
Well, you could just see that this Steeler offense was oozing confidence in the first half. Everything they did was working out. They were in and out of the huddle. They were crisp. Now you can just see things are a little more lethargic. They're not moving. They're not running off the field. They're not running on the field. Their pace to the line of scrimmage it's just a little more leisurely.
Stewart only 2 for 7 here in the third quarter after an 8 for 11 first half. We're down 6. Fuamatu, Mafala, and he has the first down. The man from Honolulu played his college ball at Utah, filling in for Bettis and running like the bus.
Well, he got some great blocking that time. He's going to get a good lead block by Wayne Gandy, his left tackle, who pulls out and gets the kick out. He gets good work from Bobby Shaw, his wide receiver. And now the Steelers, hey, now this is smart. They're going to do a little hurry up and try to pick up the tempo.
With Bobby Shaw, the slot man. And Ravens got a man late on the field. Adalius Thomas, number 96. You saw him running in from the sidelines. Saragusa making the tackle on zero away with an assist to Boulware.
And this is an attempt by the Steelers to keep this Raven personnel on the field. They want Saragusa to stay on the field. They want the big guys in there to have to defend every down, not just first down.
The Ravens have to call a timeout. They're confused.
Yeah. Kudos to Bill Cowher for calling that, and kudos to Marvin Lewis right there for saying, hey, let's stop this right now. Come on. We'll talk this through. We've been here before. Come on over, and we'll get squared away. Smart call by Lewis.
Now, how do you figure this? Well, we have a moment, Dan. Marvin Lewis last year at this time, as they went to the Super Bowl, everyone said, he's got head coach written all over him. Marvin Lewis, he's a defensive genius. The players like him. He inspires people. Now here, with all the openings, have we heard Marvin Lewis's name connected with any of those vacancies?
No, because if someone wanted to talk to Marvin, even though you can't do it until the Ravens playoff run is over, you can still ahead of time go ahead and request permission to talk to him, to find out if permission would be granted. And no one has even contacted the Ravens as of yesterday to talk to Marvin Lewis. And I'm with you, Dick. It's a pretty amazing thing.
What Brian Billick said yesterday, if anyone isn't interested in this man as a head coach. I want to play you next year because
you've got faulty management. You're right.
And well, maybe that'll happen later.
Everyone's in a rush to hire a coach, and of course last year Marvin Lewis was penalized because they went all the way to the Super Bowl and won it, and all the jobs were filled.
Stewart on 2nd and 7, a little shovel pass this time to Zerouay, weaving his way to the 45 and a first down. Rod Woodson finally gets him to the turf.
And finally a sign of life here by the Pittsburgh offense as they pick up a pair of first downs. Amos Zerouay, bothered all year by a shoulder injury, really just now back healthy. And that is
dart throw.
Well, it did look like a dart throw. Well done, you're right. And he put it right in that 100-point circle, right in the middle.
Just quivering in there. First down at the 45. Zerouay gets a breather. 2:31 left in the third. Stewart batted down incomplete as Larry Webster got his mitts on it. Friday on CBS CY First Monday is television's newest hit drama. James Garner, Joe Mantegna star in First Monday. It's Friday at 9/8 Central here on CBS.
The Steelers always go into a game with a couple trick plays at their disposal. Unfortunately, I think they involved Jerome Bettis being the guy who was going to throw a pass. We've seen him do that before this year for a touchdown against Tampa. And Bettis, him not playing, you wonder if that's curtailed that or eliminated.
They crowd the line of scrimmage, and then it's Stewart. Perhaps on an ad lib or maybe a draw. Gains about 8. Finally wrapped up from behind by Ray Lewis.
And he had to really go to some effort to not run over Carl Paganelli, the umpire. He really got in Cordell's way and forced him to make a cut, I think, when he might have gone the other direction. Why? The umpire is always in harm's way. He's trying to get out of the way, and Cordell had to go to the right when I kind of got the feeling he maybe wanted to go to the left, but the umpire was right there in his face.
Brings up 3rd down and 2. Stewart with 29 yards rushing today. He's going to run it again on the quarterback draw, and he's diving for the first down. Slash. He says, I still like that nickname given to him by Cowher back in his rookie year when he played so many different positions.
Well, we saw yesterday what Donovan McNabb did to the Chicago Bears when you have a quarterback that's capable of that extra dimension. Marvin Lewis knows it going into this game. The Cordell Stewart, he's come so far in his ability to throw the football. This has always been there. This running ability has never gone anywhere, and oh so dangerous and oh so effective.
Now Cordell Stewart with 32 yards rushing today, 19 total for Baltimore. Zerouay around the corner. Ray Lewis runs him out. Substantial gain on first down.
Forced out of bounds by Lewis.
Tonight on the CBS Sunday Movie, terrorism meets its worst enemy, and it's Chuck Norris. The President's Man, Robert Urich, co-stars in the world premiere movie President's Man. That's tonight on CBS. Ball spotted at the 37 where it's 2nd down and 3. Well, that yellow line really showed last night in Foxborough, didn't it?
They needed it.
The toss again, almost the same play. Zerouay hit by Lewis just shy of the first down at the 35-yard line. Well, Ray Lewis, you heard him at the very top of our day when he said he feels that the winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl, and indeed the AFC Central Division represented in the last 2 Super Bowls. 2 years ago Tennessee, and last year of course by the Ravens. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter here in Pittsburgh, where the Steelers lead cuts to 20-10. We'll return to Heinz Field right after this message and a word from your local station. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we direct your attention to the south end zone. where we would like to recognize the national champions of the 2001-2002 NFL Gatorade Punt, Pass, and Kick program. Debbie meanwhile, third down and short. And the toss to Zeraway. He's got the first down and pays for it as he is hit hard by Rod Woodson. And Woodson, at 36 years of age, still throwing his body around.
But you know what, Dick? We're seeing an awful lot of missed tackles by the Baltimore Ravens defensively. And I think it's really starting to show up that the Steelers have had the ball for 32.5 minutes. The Ravens for only 12.5 minutes. The Ravens offensively only 3 first downs in this ball game. And you know something? We're starting to see a lot of fatigue, I think, starting to show up on this Baltimore defense, and justifiably so.
There's your possession time, and first downs rack up, and that means possession time. The toss wide open, Burris. Plexico Burris, touchdown, Steelers. Two-yard touchdown to that big, tall target who is so tough to tackle.
And I think we saw some fatigue on the legs of Rod Woodson as he wasn't able to make the tackle on Plexico Burris. Brian Billick's offense has really hung their defensive unit out to dry.
Extra point try by Chris Brown, and the Steelers up their lead to 27-10. A flag down on the extra point. As you look at Cordell to Plexico, there's an unusual first name combination. Not too many of those around. And this one, a 32-yard score.
"12 players participating on the defense. They have accepted the option to put the penalty on the kickoff. 5 yards will be assessed against Baltimore. The extra point is good."
Well, that was an awakening drive, Dan, for the Steelers. They go 83 yards in 12 plays. 27-10. One of the many great athletes out of New Orleans, Louisiana, Cordell Stewart. And you know, he wants to go home to dance in the Super Bowl this year. He made that quite clear to us. 32 yards to Plexico Burris, and now the kickoff round to Jermaine Lewis. No, it's taken away by Corey Harris. That Steelers will applaud that move, and Harris tripped up at the 27-yard line and appears to have almost lost his trousers in the process.
Trousers? One more look at this last Pittsburgh touchdown. The strike from Stewart directly to Plexico Burris. Chris McAllister playing his zone, releases him to the inside. No, the deep middle belongs to Rod Woodson. And right in the seam. And then it's all Plexico Burris. Woodson not able to close and make the tackle. And the big man opens up what looks like an insurmountable lead for Pittsburgh.
Screen to Mo Williams on first down, and he's able to manage only 2, maybe 3 yards.
Now you say 17 points insurmountable. Of course it's not. But the way the Pittsburgh defense has been manhandling this Baltimore offense today, we're going to have to see something really out of character offensively here for Baltimore. Jermaine's punt return. Well, his punt return was actually for more yards than the Ravens have in their entire offensive output today.
Exactly right. With that 3 yards in the last play, 84 yards total offense for Baltimore, 88 for Lewis on one punt return. A juggling catch by Mo Lewis, and he's tackled at the 35. Make that Mo Williams, and he's tackled as he crossed the 35-yard line. Monday on CBS. Tomorrow night, don't miss a night of great television. It starts with King of Queens, followed by Yes Dear. Monday's #1 comedy then is Everybody Loves Raymond. Then Ted Dawson stars as Becker, followed by an all-new 48 Hours tomorrow night on CBS. Ray Lewis in deep thought as time runs out on the Super Bowl champion Ravens. 12:45 left, third down, Gerbach. Gilden can't get him, and the throw almost intercepted as the charge through from Dwayne Washington and Chad Scott, and Scott, who opened the game with an interception, almost got another.
We're going to get roughing the passer against the Steelers, and this is going to keep Baltimore's drive alive.
Aaron Smith was in on the passer.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 91. Threw a forearm into the quarterback, 15 yards, automatic, first down.
There's the face of unhappiness. Jason Gilden, the first one in, flushes Gerbach. Oh, forearm to the head. That was a forearm to the chest, but it was a forearm, and it was unnecessary. Aaron Smith saw the ball was gone. Silly mistake.
So first down Baltimore at the Steeler 49 and a flag down. Here to be Kip Vickers rocking back.
False start, offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Well, as Brian Billick would shout to his team, that's only 5 yards, but it's pricking the balloon.
Well, it's like last drive. They're doing okay, but Travis Taylor drops a perfectly thrown pass. They're in a position they can't afford these mistakes. Everyone's magnified.
Gerbach hit as he throws, incomplete. Looking for Kadri Ismail, and boy, the Steelers done a good job covering Ismail today.
Elvis has faced a lot of pressure from this Pittsburgh defense. Of course, so has everybody they've played this year. Tries to step up Joey Porter at the last minute. Not much of a hit. But Elvis has not had a lot of good looks in the pocket for the Ravens. This Pittsburgh defense today has been magnificent.
Number 1 in the league, and underlining that talent all day against Baltimore, allowing just 90 yards. 2nd and 10. Gilden gets Gerbach with Smith following up. The man who led the Steelers in sacks this year and has led them the last 4 years, 12 this season, Jason Gilden. He's going to the Pro Bowl.
For the 2nd year in a row, number 92 is going to the Pro Bowl. Justifiably so. 12 sacks this year, 13.5 last year. And Terry Allen is no match in trying to keep Jason Gilden away from Elvis Gerbach.
Now 3rd down and 25. Here they come. And Gerbach with a long throw for Taylor, incomplete. Out of bounds. He was well covered.
Well, the same play, the same combination that they hit last week against Miami. And again, silly mistakes and then big plays by the Steelers send the Raven offense to the sideline.
Fans cheering that 3rd down defense. They've thrown a shutout against Baltimore. 0 for 9, the Ravens, on 3rd down today.
And John Fiala at middle linebacker taking over for Earl Holmes, doing a good job this half. Holmes, the Steelers' leading tackler.
Richardson's punt. Chases Edwards back to his 12. Beautiful running to the 40 and out of bounds across the 45-yard line. Troy Edwards. Richardson, the punter, able to ease him off the field of play. 52-yard punt, 33 on the return. Timeout in Pittsburgh. Well, they're all generations there, and back in the 70s, remember when the Steelers won 4, the battle cry was 1 for the thumb. They wanted that 5th ring. It's been a generation ago. Is this the Steeler team that could do it? With the lead, they start at the 47 and zero away the ball carrier. Breaking tackles again and into Baltimore territory after a 5-yard gain. Saturday, we invite you to join host Greg Gumbel and Phil Simms at Phil's hometown of Okolona, Kentucky. 3rd annual Phil Simms All-Iron Team. wonder if we made a 10. In addition to the 15 players honored for their dedication, toughness, and likability, one head coach, one assistant coach will also be named to the squad. For more, go to cbs.sportsline.com. America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. I'm just going to guess now, but I bet Bruce Matthews makes that team. I'm just guessing.
You think?
I think Bruce Matthews on the team.
He's got a good chance.
Second down and 4. And Fu, they cry, but only a 1-yard gain for Fuamatu Ma'afala.
Chris.
I'm going with Fu from now on. What if they traded Ian Badejo over to the Steelers, or the other way around? You could have them both in the same backfield. Chris Fuamatu Ma'afala and Obafemi Ian Badejo. You'd need a long drive just to get both names in.
This game used to be simpler.
3rd and 4. Stewart with a little delay, and then the handoff to Fu. Kelly Gregg there to make the tackle shy of the first down.
That was not a scintillating looking play there, huh? That didn't look like a clean handoff. Out of the show. Oh, Cordell bobbled the ball, and that he just didn't get a clean handle on, but he did a good job of staying with it and getting it into Fuamatu Ma'afala.
That just trips off your tongue, partner. I like the way you say it.
Yeah, but I couldn't say scintillating.
Well, nobody's perfect.
I messed that up.
Well, Lewis, I feel, is about as perfect as the punt returner can be. Stands alone at the 10. Left-footed punter Josh Miller sends it toward him and kicked it a little too well into the end zone for the touchback. 9:18 showing on the clock. 4th quarter at Heinz Field, Pittsburgh, where the Steelers in this playoff lead by 17. And Sharp with 73 catches this year to share the lead amongst tight ends. Ravens at their 20. 9 minutes left. They're down by 17. Gerbach in the flat to Taylor. And he's tackled at the 27, a pickup of +7. And there's Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Dick, many consider the Ravens defense the most cocky unit in the league, but the Steelers do okay in their own right, particularly safety Lee Flowers. Take note of this and put it in your back pocket. With 6.5 minutes left in the first quarter, Flowers turned around to his fellow defensive backs and said, Elvis Gerbach is done. It has nothing to do with him. It's all us, and they've certainly backed it up.
Yeah, Flowers is the spokesman, and that pass a little low for Kadri Ismail. He has yet to catch a pass today.
And Kadri has been all-pro playing against the Steelers over the last several years. He has been the one Baltimore receiver that has really lit up the Steelers secondary. And you see 4 attempts as Gerbach tries to get it to him without a completion. Looks like Edwin Mulatalo is down, the left guard.
He's had trouble with a hamstring this week.
Yeah, he injured it on Wednesday, his right hamstring. That's about 350 or 60 pounds of left guard. Here's Edwin right over here. Yeah, looks like he's grabbing his right hand or his shoulder or elbow, something. Looks to be something with his right arm.
Meanwhile, the Ravens need 3 for a first down. Yet to convert on 3rd down, and they don't this time. Juggling try by Ismail, couldn't pull it in as Dwayne Washington there for Pittsburgh. You see the flag sign up on our scoreboard, and that's at the line of scrimmage against Baltimore.
Well, that's a face mask. One of the offensive linemen obviously got a hand up there.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, offense number 74. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
Orlando Bobo is in for Mulatalo.
Well, we've just seen a loss of focus and concentration by the Ravens here in the second half. Drop passes that time by Ismail. Travis Taylor had one before. They've got the look of a team right now that really struggling to try to get into this game mentally.
Richardson's punt aimed toward Troy Edwards, very short. Takes a backward bounce, hits a Raven, and then hits a Steeler, and covered by Brad Jackson.
Well, once the ball is touched by one of the Ravens,
the kick was illegally touched by the kicking team at the 50-yard line. The ball will be placed there. Pittsburgh's ball, first down.
See, the Steeler has nothing to lose by trying to make a play on the ball after it's illegally touched.
And with that timeout, 8:27 showing, fourth quarter.
Day 15, just 900 feet from the summit.
Day 15.
Where's he going?
Gilden and the Steeler defense mindful of the steel curtain days of the 70s. They played brilliantly throughout this game against the reigning Super Bowl champions, and it will be the last game for that man, Tony Siragusa, unless the Ravens come up with a miracle finish with 8.5 to go. First down at midfield. Play action Stewart. Jamie Sharper gets a hand on him, but Stewart again showing how strong-legged he is, able to free himself enough so that he didn't take the loss.
Well, on that last punt that gave Pittsburgh their possession here, normally a sprinter is double teamed, but this is an outstanding job by Deshae Townsend here working against Alvin Porter. How well does he block him? How about he takes him all the way over to the bench? Not only gets him into the sideline, but keeps him there. That's one where all the guys, when they get together in a special team meeting this week, will have a pretty good yuck. They'll give Deshae a few high fives for that effort.
That wasn't a block, that was a frisk. Here's Zaraway bouncing back to the line of scrimmage at the 50, where it'll be 3rd and 10. Beginning Thursday, season premiere of the PGA Tour on CBS, the Phoenix Open, presented by Xerox. Defending champion Mark Calcavecchia expected, along with Tom Lehman, Jesper Parnevik, Phil Mickelson, Paul Isinger, and many more. For more, go to cbs.sportsline.com, America Online keyword CBS Sportsline, and our producer today, Lance Barrow, of course, the producer of all of the great coverage of golf on CBS. We wish him a happy tour, and we'll catch up with him down in Augusta at the Masters.
I love watching golf on television. I mean, I love the game of golf, and I love watching it on TV.
Well, you're going to get a chance to see a lot in the next few weeks. Fumble there as it's stripped away from Zaraway, and Ray Lewis was the man on the spot for Baltimore. A lot of digging underneath the pile, and the Steelers somehow, as it has been throughout this day, the loose balls have fallen to the black jerseys. Lewis not at all happy about it. He's still going at it with somebody.
I think Alan Fanika's down there somewhere. Now, fellas. Oh.
Of course, the pride of these Super Bowl Ravens has been wounded today. They've been out-hit and outplayed.
Well, I think the guys should be mindful of the fact we saw Gene Washington, who's here participating in the punt, pass, and kick. Gene in charge of the players in the league and meting out fines and things of that nature. So, guys, I'd be cognizant of the fact that the administration is here. Commissioner Tagliabue is in attendance as well. No time to be trading blows unless you brought your checkbook.
Well, that brings up 4th down, and the Ravens' strength. Jermaine Lewis back on the field, and the line punt by Miller toward the sidelines to the 7.
Why?
And Lewis, not enough room to roam that time, bumped out of bounds at the 17. Go back to the fumble, Dan.
Okay, let's do it. Ray Lewis, of course, flowing from the middle linebacker, and Amos Zaraway it looked like he awkwardly caught his legs underneath him as he was trying to make a cut back to the inside. It looked like it distracted him to the point where he just didn't control the football. And Ray Lewis, even though sliding by Zaraway, still enough of an athlete and enough presence of mind to get in there, take a swipe at the ball, and get it.
How did Carnell Lake not recover the fumble?
How did Ray Lewis knock it out, going that far, overrunning the play by that much?
Steeler fans trying to help out as Gerbach on the draw. Hands off to Mo Williams, who gets about 3 out to the 20-yard line. Aaron Smith, who has been very quiet in terms of his national publicity, but this 293-pounder out of northern Colorado has been quite a contributor for the Steelers all season. Gerbach into the flat, and Mo Williams able to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Lee Flowers made the tackle. Flowers, who makes a connection to the ex-Steeler great at safety, Donnie Shell, who had 51 interceptions in his terrific career. Shell actually coached Flowers for 2 years in high school.
Elvis has got to try to get down the field somehow. Draws to Mo Way. This isn't going to get it done.
Down the field, has a man open. Travis Taylor with a very, no, it's Brandon Stokely with a tough catch, twisting away, and Stokely gives the Ravens a first down near midfield.
Good catch is right, Dick, with a ball that was thrown back behind him. That very easily could have been an incompletion. First, the Ravens have got to stretch the field here. They're running out of time.
That was their first third down conversion. This one goes underneath to Shannon Sharp for about 8, with Mike Jones making the stop. And now the hurry up for Gerbach, and the Ravens trailing by 17 with 5:45 to go. They have 2 timeouts left. Underneath and wide open is the running back Mo Williams, and Williams to the 30-yard line and a first down. And quickly another play call by Gerbach. Lee Flowers making that last hit and a little dazed as he staggers off the field. Replaced by Myron Bell at safety. And Pittsburgh, with that injury, will be charged with a timeout. Well, the way it all develops here, we don't know exactly what the times will be. It's not been announced, but the championship game, Pittsburgh goes on to win this one. Of course, we'll be here earning the home field advantage with the amazing New England Patriots. That remarkable story, Bill Belichick's team and Tom Brady would be here for the AFC title match. And of course, so will our NFL Today crew. Jim Nance will get that limousine all ready, put on his cap, and drive that group on over here to Western Pennsylvania. And should something totally unexpected happen here and the Ravens pull the rabbit out of the hat, then it would be Baltimore going to New England. From the 30, first down. Gerbach whistles that one complete to Ismail, and he has his first catch of the game. Good for 8 yards. Dwayne Washington with a tackle.
Washington on the tackle. Game 8. Second down 2. At the 22.
5 minutes and counting. Gerbach complete. And Travis Taylor, knocked out of bounds by Dwayne Washington, has the first down at the 15.
And really, Elvis being forced in this situation at the short end of the field to throw the shorter ones as Pittsburgh is dropping back into a deep zone, trying to keep everything in front of them.
Gerbach to the end zone, incomplete and intercepted. It deflected off, and here comes Brett Alexander, his second pick of the game. And down at the 30, and now they can celebrate in Pittsburgh. They're going to be home another weekend. Travis Taylor trying to make a juggling catch, and in his effort pitched it right to Alexander.
Elvis Gerbach has not gotten a lot of help from his receivers today. That should have been a touchdown. delivers the ball right onto the hands of Travis Taylor. And like we have seen all day, very unsure with their hands have been the Baltimore Raven receivers.
Alexander, along with Chad Scott with interceptions, also a fumble recovery, 4 turnovers by Baltimore. To the 30. I only have so many.
30,000 people go foo at the same time.
I decided last night I had 5 Fuamatu Ma'afalas in me. So I've spent them all. I'm going foo.
Good call. I'm not deriding. No. I'm with you here. I'm telling you. You make the call and you hear 30,000 people. People echo your call. Foo.
It's got to be quick. That's all.
Well, some questions for the Steelers here, Dick, as they get ready for next week. One, Earl Holmes. Well, what's the status of him for next week? Jerome Bettis, of course, because this has been a remarkably healthy football team.
Oh, has it?
Oh, actually, if Bettis would have started today, we'll see what happens here.
And rips his way out to the 38 where it'll be 3rd and 2.
They were expecting Jerome Bettis to start today, and if Bettis would have started this game, their entire starting football team, with the exception of Mark Bruner, their starting tight end that they lost and had to put on IR because of a shoulder back in November, it would have been the same since they've had since opening day.
And isn't that a recurring theme every
Sure
year at this time? The ones that move on in the playoffs are often the healthiest.
Well, there's being healthy and then there's being really healthy, and up until today the Steelers were very healthy.
Last time the Steelers hosted the AFC Championship game, January 11th, 98. They went up early, but 4 costly Steeler turnovers would eventually do them in as the Broncos would prevail 24-21. John Elway and company would go on to win Super Bowl 32.
Well, that may be the same Cordell Stewart that we saw walking off the field, maybe in body, but in terms of the quality of the player, a vastly different Cordell Stewart quarterbacking this Steeler team now.
And emphasizing just that point with his play again today. The timeout was Baltimore's second use today, and Fu protecting the ball, burrows to the 40 and may have the first down with that second effort.
He was stopped a good yard and a half from the first down, and I think he got it again just by strength and his will. And we have seen this Raven defense, I think, really try valiantly today, but they are just flat worn out. The time of possession today so staggeringly in favor of the Steelers.
And the rushing yards, you get down to the playoff games and they say who runs it the best, who defends it the best. The Steelers owned that #1 category during the regular season, and today 156 yards rushing, Baltimore 22. Well, a reminder tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes, and the education of Max Bickford.
Just the fabulous run that the Ravens had last year, the way they overpowered everybody that they played all the way through the Super Bowl win over the Giants. It was it wasn't happening for them this year, but it's still a magical time that they had last year, but it appears to be over.
And hit in the backfield as the entire Raven defense zeroing in on Fu that time. Jamie Sharper was there first. And coming up on the Subway post-game show, Jim, Mike, Randy, Jerry, recap of today's game and a preview of the NFC Divisional playoff game between Green Bay and St. Louis. That's coming up on the Subway post-game show. And the Packers and the Rams, we send our best wishes to those two fine organizations.
Yeah, how about that matchup? Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, Brett Favre, Antonio Freeman, Amon Green. A lot of star power in that Green Bay St. Louis game.
Yeah, you can't get a marquee big enough to put all the stars on it.
Fu, and while we have seen the elements certainly come into play yesterday, both in Chicago and last night in Foxborough, today a nice day, but they'll be on the fast track in the Dome at St. Louis.
Well, time to salute the leaders for the Pittsburgh Steelers today. Cordell Stewart A touchdown, an interception, but his legs many times getting the Steelers out of trouble and picking up first downs their way. Chips in with 63 yards. Plexico Burress 84 yards on 5 catches and a touchdown. But what's not on that page, defense. There's the real stars of this Pittsburgh outfit. They've lost only once on their home field all year. Baltimore beating them. And Chris Brown unable to connect on 4 field goals, but they sought revenge today. And just chewing up the final seconds and minutes of this game down to the 2-minute warning at 1:58. Pittsburgh getting ready for next week already. Our last time together, I want to wish you a great offseason, especially you got a new knee surgery this week. I want you to be quick. A doubles partner. We'll take them all on next year.
Oh, a little knee replacement. Everybody ought to get one every
That's
now and
right. Well, I would have sent you flowers, but you would have been insulted. I know that. So we all wish you well, Dad.
Thank you, Dick. You know what I'm reminded of as I watched this performance today of the Pittsburgh Steelers was Bill Cowher telling us about how important continuity is in the National Football League. He says money can buy you a championship in basketball, in baseball, but it can't buy you a championship in football. And as you see the coaching derby, everybody coming and going, I think back to Cowher finishing his 10th year here in Pittsburgh, who a couple of years ago went through a 7-9 and a 6-10 season, and Dan Rooney stayed the course because he knew he had a good coach. And you know what? Now they're reaping the benefits.
He's now the dean of NFL coaches, and Dan Rooney following in the footsteps of his Hall of Fame dad, Art Rooney, bought this franchise in 1933, keeping that continuity, and there's something consistent as well. Joey Porter with a sack. Blitzburg started early, and they cap it with a little exclamation point here in the final 2 minutes. Their 3rd sack of the game. And Bill Cowher even looked at us and said, yeah, I know, and under many circumstances around the league, I would have been on the street.
Yes,
They'd have let me go.
He just said, I'd have been out.
Gerbach, desperation time, almost intercepted, double covered. Was Todd Heap, and Mike Logan looking for the pick. And coming up right after the conclusion of this game, you'll get the comments from the players on the Subway post-game show, and of course our expert analysts back in New York will give you their views. Also look ahead to that Rams game with the Packers, and the Patriots and the Steelers, what they think about the AFC Championship matchup here next week. Elvis batted down by Mike Jones. 1:19 to go.
You mentioned Cordell Stewart wanting to go to the Super Bowl, being held down in New Orleans. I know that later today that same thought being held by Marshall Faulk, whose hometown is New Orleans. That would be some matchup, wouldn't it? Wonder who would get the most, who'd have to get the most tickets for that game. And we bid a fond farewell to Tony Siragusa. The Goose said this is it. I suspect we've not seen the last.
I just hope the booth. I hope the booth is big enough. Richardson, and Edwards says stay away, and then he takes it, just kneels down at the 49-yard line. Siragusa and the Ravens come over to congratulate the Steelers.
Has a good run.
They did it with their defense, and they thought they had it lined up, Brian Billick, the way it was a year ago as a wild card on the road where they prevailed using that great defense. But the Steelers certainly were the better team today, and back to the drawing board for a coming year. This is the part of the season no coach, no player looks forward to.
And as we look to the AFC Championship game at the start of the year, I think it was unlikely that we thought the 2 quarterbacks in that game were going to be Cordell Stewart and Tom Brady.
Wow, is that a good call?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kurt Warner, Brett Favre, and on the other side,
Donovan McNabb. Yeah, we're seeing familiar names.
But certainly not the AFC. Cordell Stewart and Tom Brady. My, oh my, oh my.
I'll tell you, the terrible towel will never go out of fashion in Pittsburgh.
Hines Ward in the backfield had a towel with him. The Pittsburgh Steelers have advanced to the AFC Championship game. Bill Cowher's tough defensive team with an impressive 27-10 win over the Baltimore Ravens.
And our congratulations to Brian Billick and the Ravens as well, and to their owner Art Modell. Art, good luck with the Hall of Fame voting. I know you're disappointed today, but they all go home wearing those Super Bowl rings.
And for Dan Rooney and the Pittsburgh Steelers in this city and their great fans, congratulations to a team that played the way the fans of this area like to see a team play. They don't care if you score a lot of points, just be better defensively than the other team. And that's certainly in the tradition of the great Iron Curtain clubs of the 1970s. The big smile of Bill Cowher and the two-finger next week in the AFC Championship, and then, of course, the Super Bowl. Stay tuned for our post-game report, interviews, and highlights. From all of us at CBS, thank you for being with us. Dick Enberg, Dan Diodora, Bonnie Bernstein. Here are the eyes, the intensity, the physical attack from both sides of the line of scrimmage, but the big plays belong to the men in the black and gold, the Pittsburgh Steelers. 27, Baltimore Ravens 10.
His name is Henry, Ray Henry.
On the Subway post-game show. Good to have you with us. It's all set now. The AFC Championship game. The New England Patriots will take on the Pittsburgh Steelers next Sunday on CBS. A convincing win here. Mike Ditka, Randy Cross, Jerry Glanville, right across the board statistically. 21-7 in first downs. 4 turnovers committed by the Ravens today. And Zaraway stepped up with a couple of touches.
Well, he stepped up with a couple of touches. I think they were expecting to be taking the angles to tackle the bus, and Zaraway's a little faster than the bus. He got outside a couple of times. They did a good job in the second half of containing him, but it was too far gone. They could not score any offense at all against the Steelers.
Well, the warm and fuzzy story for Pittsburgh is Cordell Stewart in that offense. The cold reality of the Steelers is that Steelers defense, and the way they manhandled Baltimore today is bad news for New England next week and bad news for whoever else might be down the road. They can put pressure and hang with any offense in this league.
I wonder about the Ravens. You know, has Elvis left the building?
He has.
Are the Ravens done for a long time? That's the question. And if you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers secondary, they dropped 3 more interceptions that were right in their hands. Could have been 6.
And you're saying that about the Ravens because there are major salary cap issues there, and they've got to reconfigure all sorts of contracts there. Jerry, don't go too far. Ravens are eliminated, and let's go over to Pittsburgh. Bonnie Bernstein there with Cordell Stewart.
So Cordell, you find out right before the game you're not going to have Jerome Bettis, but how good did Amos Zaraway look today?
I mean, Amos, ever since Jerome hadn't been playing, Amos has come in and, I mean, he just electrified the game just based on his speed and just being a little guy. People can't see him in the backfield sometimes. So with his speed and what he brings, I mean, it just makes us that much quicker. But, you know, the big man, he'll be back next week. And we'll still use Amos and give it the 1-2 punch kind of thing.
You were a young green quarterback in 1997 when you took this team to the AFC Championship. How much mature of a quarterback are you now, Cordell?
Well, just all the things that's taken place up until this point, just mentally, I mean, it either was going to humble me or cause me to go crazy. And it humbled me to a point where I knew what I needed to do when I had my opportunity again, and here we are today.
You told me you stayed up and watched that whole New England-Oakland game last night like we all did. I know you haven't seen a lot of them, but what do you expect next week? Well, New England's going to come in here and they're going to play real hard. Tom Brady's doing an excellent job. You know, he's coming in and taking over the job. And, I mean, they're just a good football team. I mean, they're making plays, and that's what it's all about. And, you know, our thing is we have to come in and do well. But right now, we're going to enjoy this, and we'll think about New England later on. Cordell, congratulations.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
All right, the 27 allowed by the Ravens today in their previous 5 playoff games. They're 4 on the way to the championship last year, and factoring in their win over Miami last week. In those 5, they'd given up only 26 total. Today, they allow 27 as the Steelers proved to be the far superior team, advancing to the AFC final. And we'll continue on the Subway postgame show on CBS in just a moment.